Believe me, everything you've heard is a lie, but the truth is far more terrifying. 13 Elm Street, a place where no one ever returns, a place filled with secrets and terror. The walls of this place carry a history of fear. Are you ready to face the truth? What lies hidden here will make your senses spin. This place is a tale that no one can ever forget once they hear it. What you're thinking might be even worse than this. People have heard many stories about this house, but the truth is far more horrifying. Have you ever felt that someone is watching you? A presence close to you, circling around you every moment. That's the sensation you feel here all the time. 13. Elm Street, this house, this building, is famous for its mystery and fear. The locals avoid even mentioning its name because they know what is hidden there. Many years ago, when this house was newly built, people started living here. But as time passed, the atmosphere inside the house became filled with sorrow and torment. At first, there were some minor sounds, like the footsteps of someone, or the soft creaking of a door. But as time went on, these sounds began to change. Occasionally, in the dark of the night, strange images would appear on the walls, as if a bloodied hand was rubbing against them, and sometimes it felt like laughter was coming from inside. But when you opened the door, there was nothing. Can you imagine that there are hidden truths here that could steal your sleep? Do you want to feel the fear hidden deep in this place? Because once you step inside, coming back is almost impossible. People say that something exists in 13 Elm Street that isn't alive, but still, it is there. Some presences that are not physical, but spiritual. In the dark of night, you sometimes feel as if someone is listening to your breath, or like someone is walking behind you. So far, no one has discovered what this truth is, what this story is, and why this house has become a place that chills the hearts of people. These secrets, these mysteries, the answer to all of them is hidden somewhere, but that answer is not simple. This might be an experience in your life that will never leave your mind. Because here, at 13 Elm Street, every room, every door, every corner holds a story that will challenge your imagination, a truth that is heart-stopping. As for the people, they often say that the biggest feature of 13 Elm Street is its changing atmosphere. During the day, when sunlight falls on the building, there is still an eerie silence that lingers in the air. The leaves of the trees rustle in the wind, but as soon as you approach this place, it feels as if everything has come to a standstill. This is the moment when you can hear even the sound of your own footsteps, and a question arises in your mind: is this sound mine, or is it someone else's? But as night falls, the reality of 13 Elm Street changes. As the darkness surrounds the place, a completely different world emerges. Doors and windows start opening by themselves. Deep sighs can be heard on the walls, and sometimes it feels as if someone is walking inside the building. It feels as though the house itself is alive. It was during this moment that one day a young girl named Emily entered 13 Elm Street with the determination to uncover its mystery. Emily was known for always trying to uncover every secret. She was a girl who didn't live in fear, but thrived on finding the truth. Her mind was filled with one question: what was it about this building that forced people to run away from it? Emily's heart was not filled with fear, but with curiosity. She stepped into the building, and as soon as she entered, her vision blurred, but still, she moved forward. Every room was filled with a deep silence, but then suddenly, a laugh from one of the rooms jolted her senses. Following that sound, she reached a door that was slowly opening. She bravely opened it, and the scene inside made her breath catch. The room, once inhabited, had now turned into a terrifying and dark place. There were bloodstains on the walls, and strange markings appeared on the floor, as though wild animals or beasts had roamed there. But the strangest thing was the shadow standing in front of a large mirror in the middle of the room. It wasn't fully clear, but it felt as though it was watching her. Emily tried to steady her heartbeat, but the shadow's gaze seemed to pierce her. She realized that this was the secret she had been trying to uncover. She came closer to the door, and as soon as she reached out her hand, a laughing figure appeared in the mirror, as if it wanted to speak to her. What was this? Was it real or just a dream? Emily hesitated, but then touched the mirror, and she heard a loud sound, like something was about to break. She quickly turned around, and there was a door in front of her that could close at any moment, and from inside more sounds came, as if someone was calling her, trying to get her attention. But Emily didn't give. Decided she would face this fear, no matter what. The question now was whether she could uncover the truth or would she disappear into the terror of 13 Elm Street. Emily took one last deep breath, pushing aside her inner fear, and decided to move forward. She stepped toward the door, and as soon as she reached out, the door opened by itself. The scene inside was something entirely different, and Emily felt as if she had entered another world. The room was lit by a strange, otherworldly light, as though filled with some hidden energy. On the walls of the room were strange markings, which were not only terrifying but seemed as though they had been written in blood. Following these markings, Emily's heart began to race, as they pointed toward a specific message. When she focused on one particular marking, a terrifying truth appeared before her. That marking was actually pointing toward the direction of a door. As soon as she touched the marking, the whole wall began to shake, and suddenly, a hidden door opened. Emily stepped forward and entered. The atmosphere inside was even more mysterious. The door closed behind her, and she was now in a completely different place. The room was narrow and had a storyboard on the wall, with ancient maps and pictures. Emily looked closely, and a chill ran through her. The pictures, the maps, everything was in one place. Then suddenly, a faint whispering voice came from somewhere, as if someone was speaking softly. Emily quickly turned around, but no one was there. She knew she had to be very cautious now, because what was here was not new to her. The walls of this room had markings that would forever be etched into your soul. She paused on one picture, which showed a person standing near the door of 13 Elm Street, with a look of despair on his face, as if he had fallen into the grip of some demon. In his hand was a book, which probably held the secret of his fate. Emily tried to take the book, but as soon as she held it, a strong jolt hit her, and a strange noise came from the book, as if it were alive. Emily's heart raced, but she didn't give up and began to open the book. The pages inside contained a sad history, and each page told a different story. When she reached the last page, a bright light flashed, and suddenly Emily felt as though she was lifted off the ground. A sorrowful voice echoed, as if it were resonating in her soul. "You've opened what you were never meant to see." In that moment, Emily realized that the book she had opened was not just a book, but an ancient magical device that revealed the true reality of 13 Elm Street. The truth that had been hidden for a century, and now Emily was face to face with it. All the truths in the book, all the secrets, and the fear that spread through the streets of this house were now right in front of her eyes. But there was one question echoing in Emily's mind. Could she face these truths? Could she let the secrets hidden in this book live? Or would she too become part of the terrifying reality? Emily had to make a choice. Would she reveal the truth, or would she leave the house to escape the fear? A decision that could make the difference between life and death. Emily gripped the book tighter. Her heart was racing, and one question was on her mind. Would it be possible for her to bear the truth? The secrets hidden in the book, secrets that had been unknown for decades, were now laid bare in front of her, and the fear attached to those secrets was creeping into Emily's body. The book trembled in her hands, as if it were not a book, but a living thing that wanted to bind her to this place. She turned the pages, reading each word carefully. There were details that only those who knew the secret of 13 Elm Street could have known. The book revealed that this building was, in fact, an ancient magical site, whose foundations were once tied to human sacrifices. It was said that powerful forces hidden here were free from the laws of time and space. 13 Elm Street had been home to a spiritual presence for many years, one that always took hold of its inhabitants and one day would claim each person's soul. The book stated that this presence, once human, had now transformed into a dangerous and magical spirit, and its power had grown so much that it could never die. In an instant, all of this rushed through Emily's mind, and she became convinced that the truth she was trying to uncover was nothing but a form of terror. Yet, still, there was a powerful curiosity within her, urging her to explore the depths of this place. Was it her destiny to face this magical truth? Would she be able to expose it, or would it completely destroy her? Emily turned to the final page of the book, where a warning message was written. Whoever finishes this book will become the last link of 13 Elm Street. Your soul is now part of this place, and your fate is now tied to it. You must decide whether you will free this wandering presence or become its prey. These words echoed in Emily's mind. A strange fear and despair filled her heart. She knew there was no turning back now. The book she had opened was not just for unveiling a secret. It had also altered her fate. The more secrets this place held, the more destruction it caused. Suddenly, she felt a deep presence casting a shadow around her. A soft whisper began to come from the corner of the room, and it had an eerie authority to it. It was slowly moving towards her. You have learned our truth, Emily. The voice became clearer. Now, the truth within you is also part of it. Emily turned around, but her heart sank as she saw bloodstains and strange shapes emerging on the walls, as if they were alive and coming toward her. Did Emily truly want to know this truth? And could she face such a powerful magical presence? This was the question now before her, and the answer could only come with time. But one thing was certain. After this moment, Emily's life would never be the same. Her breath quickened, and the sound of her heartbeat echoed in her mind. She knew that her journey had entered a critical phase. Her body trembled with fear, but her mind still revolved around one question. The question she had discovered in a state of unconsciousness. Could she return her life to normal after knowing this truth? Or would it forever consume her? The shadows on the walls had now become distinct, and their shapes were more animated and alive. As they grew, Emily began hearing a strange sound, as though many voices were echoing together, voices that had been imprisoned in 13 Elm Street for years. These voices were saying only one thing. Your fate is now ours, Emily. Emily slowly looked around the room, her eyes filled with deep lines of fear, but at the same time, there was a resolve growing in her heart. She took a deep breath and decided she would fully uncover the secrets of this place, no matter the cost. If you let us go, we will let you go, a voice echoed again. Emily replied, I won't let you go. Whatever you are, I want to know your truth. Her words were firm, but deep down, a wave of fear surged. This moment had become the most important one of her life. She stood at a place where her presence and her fate had become intertwined. Whatever was in 13 Elm Street, she was now a part of it, and the choice before her was one she had to make. Would she try to end this terror? Would she be able to control this ancient spiritual force, or would she become its victim? The final message in the book was truly challenging Emily's mind. She knew that if she left this place now, she would never be able to face the fear she had felt that day, and if she stayed, she would be lost in it forever. Emily opened the book one last time, her eyes fixed on the pages. As she read the final page, the entire building seemed to shake, as if it were under the influence of some great power. Bloodstains and shadows began advancing toward her, and suddenly an extraordinary light erupted in the room, spreading in all directions. A terrifying transformation occurred within Emily. Her body began to feel lighter, as though she were floating in the air. But along with that, she realized that she was spiritually accepting a new truth. She knew that she had to become part of another world, one tied to the mysteries of 13 Elm Street. Her body was still on the ground, but her mind and spirit had connected with the invisible forces. "You tested us, Emily, and you have succeeded." The voice grew clearer, and there was an unusual calmness in it. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. Now, she could feel those forces within her, a force that would remain with her forever. She had become an element, one that would never fade, and her existence had been forever lost in the deep secrets of 13 Elm Street. When Emily opened her eyes again, she didn't find herself in that mysterious room, but instead in the streets of 13 Elm Street. In front of her was a door, open, and behind it was a darkness where a terrifying shadow danced. Emily stepped forward and passed through the door. She knew that the end of her journey was not here. She had become a part of the deep secret, and now her path was forever lost among the lights and shadows hidden within 13 Elm Street. She had become a part of that truth, and now she had one choice. She had become one with those forces, and her existence was now forever linked to this place. The secret of 13 Elm Street had become an eternal story, and Emily had become an everlasting part of that story, one whose ending would never come.